Welcome to World Politics. Ukraine has been jolted with a series of missile strikes by Russia. For the first time since the beginning of this war, several Ukrainian cities including Kiev and Lviv have been struck by Russian missiles in what has been termed as the heaviest wave of attacks since February. At least 11 people have been killed and over 60 others have been injured. Several regions across Ukraine also experienced power outages as the missile strikes were aimed specifically to cripple Ukraine's critical infrastructure. According to the Ukrainian Air Force, more than 83 missiles were fired by the Russians, of which 43 were shot down by the Ukrainian air defense. The missiles, including the likes of Kalibr, Iskander and Kh-101, were launched from the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. Earlier over the weekend, Russia also struck targets in the city of Zaporizhia. Tu-23 M3 bombers and Su-35 fighter jets were deployed by Russia to carry out precision strikes using air-launched cruise missiles. Ukraine has renewed its demand for more advanced air defense systems in the wake of these attacks. Earlier, the Kerch bridge connecting Crimea with mainland Russia was damaged with a massive explosion. Ukraine did not take direct responsibility for the explosion, but many of Ukraine's official Twitter handles were found gloating over the attack. The damage to the Kerch bridge will have far-reaching consequences in the war, as this was a crucial conduit for the Russian army to transport goods, ammunition, and soldiers from mainland Russia to the Crimean peninsula. But just a day later, Russia hit back with a revenge missile strike. A rocket struck the Klitsko Bridge, devastating the central part of Kiev. These missile strikes have happened just days after Vladimir Putin appointed General Sergei Surovikin, who has been named as the overall commander of Russia's campaign in Ukraine. General Surovikin has the reputation of being a notoriously brutal military commander and has the nickname of General Armageddon. General Surovikin is credited with the destruction of the city of Aleppo in 2016 when the Syrian government forces retook the city from American-backed rebels with the help of Russian airstrikes. But the fierce bombardment of Ukrainian cities seems to have had an unintended consequence. Germany, which had been dragging its feet for the delivery of the IRIS-T surface-to-air missiles for the last 4 months, has now said that the German-manufactured missiles will be delivered to Ukraine in the next few days. These surface-to-air missiles have a range of 25 miles and can shoot down enemy aircraft of missiles from an altitude of 12 miles. But Ukraine will need a lot more than this to keep fighting against the Russian bear. Especially now when the Russian bear is frothing at its mouth in rage due to the spectacular success of the Ukrainian counteroffensive. The leading reason for the success of Ukraine counteroffensive is its access to better intelligence and the use of smarter weapons. As this video shows, by using drones tactically, the Ukrainian forces have beaten the Russians hollow by sneaking up on them and dropping ammunitions to incapacitate the Russian forces. Moscow has not released any official count of the number of its soldiers who have been killed or wounded in combat. But the trouble that Kremlin has faced in its mobilization indicates that Russia is finding it hard to fill up its ranks, even as the Ukrainians continue with their counteroffensive. To compensate for the poor morale of its soldiers, Putin has resorted to a rapid escalation. The message is clear. The Russian bear is enraged at the humiliation it has suffered for the last 6 weeks on the battlefield, and it will now compensate for it with all the brute force it can unleash on the forward-marching Ukrainians. If you liked this video of world politics, then do press the like button and subscribe to the channel. We will meet again soon with more action from the battlefield.